Good evening, Sunshine Coast, and welcome to another episode of Local Focus. And I'm your host, Darren from Digital Brista, where I serve up freshly brewed content strategies, tips and tricks to help small business owners and entrepreneurs get started with live streaming. And tonight's going to be a bit of an interesting conversation. I'm always fascinated by the subject around the brain. And tonight we've got a couple of lovely ladies in. We've got Kirsten and Effie from Coastal CMIT. Welcome to the studio. How are you going?
Good. Very well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Don't be shy. You had plenty to say before we went on. So you guys, occupational therapists?
Yeah.
Yeah? So tell us a little bit more about what you do on a day-to-day basis with Coastal CIMT. I hope I said that right. I might have said CMIT, but
That's
anyway,
right.
it's CIMT. So tell us what it is and what you guys do.
Cool. Well, we work with people across the lifespan. So I think our youngest client is
20 months old.
And our
20
oldest
months, yeah.
is 80 something.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Got
all
caught
across
up in the
lifespan,
details.
Yeah. We sorry.
And so CIMT, what does that actually stand for?
Constraint-induced movement therapy. So what we do is help people relearn to use their arm and hand after some sort of neurological event or injury. So it could be like a stroke or cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, spinal cord injury, any of those types of things. If someone has trouble using their arm and hand, we're here to help them, basically.
Yeah. And it's not something that I've heard of before. Like, so it's a fairly new development in medical research, reasonably new, I guess, when we're talking in medical terms. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Fairly new.
Yeah, I guess they say, well, something when it's within 40 years of its inception or development is still relatively new in the scientific or medical health research world. And so constraint-induced movement therapy has been around for about 20 years now.
Yep.
So yes, still relatively new, and especially for Australia. It's been well recognised in Australian research and practice for maybe the past 10 years. Definitely more so in the past 5 years.
Okay, and so you guys are the only therapists that are specialised in that area on the Sunshine Coast?
That we know of.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's one of our big focuses. And I think just having that focus on looking at people's upper limb impairments, in occupational therapy, we are professionals that can look at people's home environment, we can look at their cognitive skills, specialist equipment prescription. It's such a broad profession. And whilst they're all really valuable parts of being an OT, where we are pretty passionate about is how can we get that person using their arm and hand again in their everyday activities after a brain injury, and just being able to provide that service and just focus on that and getting really good at it is,
I think that's, to be able to, if you're passionate about something, then that makes it a whole lot easier to sort of dive in deep, because you were talking before we went live, that it's something that's, it's an intensive process really, isn't it? Yeah. So can you describe sort of what the whole process is and perhaps a little bit of the theory behind why, you do what you do?
Yeah.
So obviously that person needs to be eligible, I guess, to complete constraint-induced movement therapy. So it's not for every single person that has an upper limb impairment following neurological condition, but that's where the assessment part comes in. So we'll figure out are they going to be appropriate for it, and they also need to be motivated to commit to the program. So it could be anywhere from 30 to 40 hours over 2 to 3 weeks, and seeing them for 2-3 hours per day, 5 days a week. So that's face-to-face therapy, but then also outside of that, they need to be practicing using their impaired arm as much as possible. So, often that person will need commitment from not only themselves for that practice, but a carer, a loved one, a family member. So they need lots of support during that time. So I guess that's where the intensive side comes in.
And I guess that is perhaps where, you were talking that, that therapists a little bit reluctant, I guess, because there is that sort of commitment, like it can put a strain on things a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's
If
just,
you're
it's just a
doing
massive
multiple
commitment
sort of-
for the client mostly. But when I'm describing it to a client and trying to encourage them to participate in constraint-induced movement therapy, I always ask them, if you're going to learn a new language, would you rather do 1 week of learning that language, 1 hour a week for 12 months? Or would you rather go to that country, live with a family that speaks the language, be immersed in it every single day, and would you learn more in 3 weeks than you would in a whole year, perhaps that way? Well, it's the exact same way with movement, because your brain doesn't know the difference between movement or language or thought. It's just neurons wiring and firing, and the more they wire together, the more they fire together. And yeah, so I always explain it that way, and then that generally gets people on board. Yeah.
And often when we first meet people, they might have what's called learned non-use. So basically after they've had their stroke or injury to the brain loves efficiency, and so it learns to use the non-impaired hand for tasks because it's finding that it's successful, and so that reinforces the use of that good side, and then the impaired side doesn't get used as much or at all. So there's some untapped potential already there, as well as that kind of practice and focus and flooding the brain, immersing them in repetitive task practice, just to try and get as many of those neurons firing and wiring together.
Yeah. So I'm not sure that we mentioned that the constraint part of constraint-induced movement therapy is that we actually either cast or mitt the person's unaffected hand, so that they're in a situation where they've got no choice really, but to use the more affected hand. And that's how we start teaching the brain to relearn and rebuild pathways that have been lost by injury.
Yeah, because I guess it's very hard to fight that subconscious, because obviously you don't know it's happening, but
absolutely, it's all subconscious.
It's a far more superior brain than our conscious brain.
Absolutely, yeah. And it wants the most efficient way for everything. It wants us to survive, and it wants us to do it quickly and easily and effortlessly.
Yeah. Path of least resistance.
Yeah, every time.
And so you guys are about to move into your own practice, essentially. So you've kind of got your own practice now, but that's a mobile practice.
Yeah.
So you were just mentioning before that you're creating your own clinic.
Yeah, we'll be moving in a few weeks to a space in Nambour. So we've been travelling around Sunshine Coast for now, but it's come time, and we're really excited to be able to build our own space and put all our cool toys in there.
We were talking about toys before. I've got all these cool toys. They've got their cool toys.
You'll have to come see ours.
Yeah, I think that having a dedicated space, I know from personal experience, makes the whole process, well, we talked about efficiency. It's a lot more efficient because I can just leave this set up and I can turn it on and away I go. And I guess it would be similar for you guys in that you'll be able to perhaps better serve the community that need your services.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Got it in one.
Yeah. It's hard to fit a big plinth in your car as well.
Yeah.
Probably not advised to carry it around.
Yeah, I have no idea what a plinth is, but anyway.
If you've ever been to a physio practice, I've often seen, and it's kind of like that
what you lie
bed
on
that you
while
lie
they
on,
treat
and
you.
they can lift it up and down.
Yeah,
and,
gotcha.
Yeah, super heavy.
And so you would get most of your referrals from other like health professionals, I would imagine.
Yeah. So we usually hear from doctors or other allied health professionals working with clients who pick up that they could use our service or benefit from our service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're also looking at potentially offering training to other professionals in that area as well.
Yes.
So where did you get your training from? How did that all happen?
A special man to us.
Yes.
His name's Philip Fay. He has Constraint-Induced Therapy Australia, and he was the first therapist in Australia to train. He went right where it was born in Alabama and was taught by the people that developed this therapy, and then he brought it back to Australia and taught us 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, and we've learned a lot from him, and So yeah,
Be a big
and-
inspiration for
yeah,
us as well.
absolutely. And now I guess
So
we're at the
you're
point
now-
where we're wanting to teach as well.
Yeah.
So very passionate about it, and in other roles that we've had prior to this, have been very passionate about sharing the knowledge and teaching other therapists. So we're certainly open to any private or public practices around the coast who are looking for training in constraint-induced movement therapy or general upper limb rehab sort of stuff. We'd love to help, and now that we've got the space,
Yep.
we can bring the people in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if people think that they might be suitable for something like that, what's the best path for them? Should they go and see their own health professional to start off with and get a referral, or can they get in touch with you guys directly?
If they're already seeing a health professional, it might be good to check in with them and just ask those questions. But if they're not sure, they can certainly just call us,
Yeah.
and we can talk it through. They don't need to have a health professional or doctor's referral to come and see us. It can be as simple as learning about who we are and giving us a call, and if they've got any questions, we'll just deal with them then. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And so the best way to get in touch with you guys, wow, we've got a fair few people on live at the moment. If you're on live, say good day. I'm sure the girls would love to say hello, and I'm sure they would love to answer any questions you might want to throw at them,
absolutely.
just off the cuff. So if you are watching now, jump on, chuck a question in, and say good day, and we'll see who we've got. Oh, Nettie. Nettie's my wife. I wasn't
Still
going to give
counts.
it away, but the surname sort of give it away there. And the best way to get in touch with you guys there, I've got your up on screen there at the moment, the coastalcimt.com.au. That would
Yeah.
probably be the best place to start off
You
with.
can find a phone number on there, or you can message us directly through the website, and we'll
Yep.
get that as well.
Excellent. All righty. And we'll just wait there. So anything else you want to share with us? I guess it would be a very rewarding experience for you to see the changes that you're affecting in people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best part of the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
I think that's what all health professionals are in it for, really. So, that's definitely it. That's what keeps us going every day. That's what energizes us,
Yeah.
for sure.
And it's a lot of hard work. But with anything, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
And it's about celebrating those small wins along the way and not being so hard on yourself, but persisting through those challenges. And I think, learning that in therapy, you can translate it to your everyday life too.
Yeah, for sure. We've got Jack on there. G'day. Amazing work, legends. So good to have such an amazing service on the coast. Absolutely. Like I would
Thanks, Jack.
absolutely agree. It's one of those things that perhaps the general public wouldn't necessarily know that it exists.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. So education, that's what we're all about here at Local Focus as well. It's just educating the public that there are services and businesses out there that you probably didn't even know existed. So great to have you guys on tonight, and I wish you every success with the new practice and the new clinic. We got Barbara coming on there as well. So love seeing the girls who are heroes in OT and are authentically committed to making a difference in people's lives. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Right? We're not getting any red faces yet, so. But no, it's great to have you guys in here, and I'm all about community, and I think treating our community or keeping our community healthy and active, I think is an admirable thing to be doing. I'd be a bit of a sook. I think I'd be crying. I cry at ads on TV, would you believe? But
Yeah.
do you guys get fairly emotional at times, I would imagine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it comes with the
Quite
territory.
often, yeah,
Working with health, working with people.
Yeah.
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 But it's you get inspired every day
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
what we do. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Well, they can be happy tears.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying
more
they're all
often than
sad
not.
tears.
Yeah.
I got the happy tears going on.
Yeah.
And Adam's on there. Go team! Such an amazing offering to the community. Very good. Thank you, Adam. And yes, he would cry. That is. Thanks for backing me up on that one. I'll happily admit I'm a sook, so that's okay. But thanks again, and
Yeah, thanks
like
for
I said,
having us.
all the best with the new clinic, and jump
Awesome.
online and support these guys, and if you know anyone,
Yeah.
let them know about Coastal CIMT, and
Cool.
they'll be able to help you out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And if you're a health professional watching us, we're on Instagram too, and we upload lots of educational sort of stuff and video footage
Excellent.
on there.
That's good, because I think
Thank
we
you.
did we mention that you were
Not
looking
any
at potentially doing some, oh yeah, we did talk briefly
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yes, make
Thanks.
sure, jump on, but your socials will be on your website as well.
Yes,
So
they
can-
are.
yeah.
Yep, the link's there.
Excellent. Cool.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So there you have it, guys. Another episode of Local Focus, and we are back again tomorrow night. Yes, we are. I forgot what day it was there for a second. So in the meantime, enjoy this rain, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.